right there. Come on, this guy needs no introduction, folks. Let's give it up. You have an hour to ask as many lovely questions as you can, Mr. Steve. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. I feel like I'm sitting in my family's living room. This is nice. It's cozy. It's intimate. I know, and you guys are hiding all the way in the back because you're still drunk from last night, right? Well, good morning. I'm Steve Blum. I'm a voice actor based in LA, for those of you who don't know me. And I've been in the business for 20-some-odd years now, and started out in anime. It's where I began, where I'll probably die, and probably on the job if I have my way. And I'm still doing anime these days, and not as much as I used to. There's only a couple jobs that I'm allowed to do these days, but now I'm hanging out more in the video game world and original animation. And so I thought I'd just open it up to you guys and see what's on your minds, and let's talk, let's chat. Anybody got a question? Oh, this is gonna be loud. You know what, I'm gonna pull up a chair here, and I'm gonna sit with you guys, and I'm just gonna stare at you until you figure out what you want to talk about.
I think everyone's overwhelmed by your awesome.
Okay, cool. He's a nice guy. Everybody be nice to him this weekend because he's going to be taking really good care of you. Okay, so somebody has a question for me. I know somebody. There it is, right there.
What is your favorite character you voiced?
Favorite character I voiced is the character that I'm doing today, usually. I kind of have to go there because my characters are, I invest myself pretty fully in the characters to the point that I hurt myself sometimes. So to choose a favorite would really be like choosing a child. And you know, if you got two hanging off a cliff, how do you choose which one to say? That's kind of my philosophy about it. So there are some that stand out, and there's some fan favorites, obviously, and some that were more influential in my career. Spike Spiegel being one of them, from Cowboy Bebop. Nice. Only because they were such a huge benchmark in my career. They're a great show, and for so many reasons, the least of which being my performance in it. But that was such a benchmark in my career that probably 5-6 other shows came directly out of that show for me without even really having to go through the casting process. So in my mind, that was sort of a benchmark, and to the point where I have like an audio wave file of Spike's voice on my arm tattooed. So I guess to say a favorite of my anime career, that would probably be it. And then on the animation side, the American animation side, lately it's been Wolverine, Starscream. I sort of go between those two guys because I was a comic book fan when I was a kid, and like most of us in this room, I watched a lot of cartoons back then. And to actually get to bring those characters to life is really exciting, and it doesn't get old still. So. That was a really long answer for a really short question, wasn't it? But it may be the only question I have today, so I thought I'd start. I'll just do an essay on each question. We'll fill out the hour in 10 minutes. That doesn't make any sense at all. How about another question? Rear?
Can you tell us if you're planning on doing any series that might be coming out anytime soon, or just looking for hires now?
Anime specifically?
Anime, games.
Well, most of the shows I'm working on right now I'm not allowed to talk about. And there's a guy in the back of the room with a laser pointed on my forehead, so everybody likes to see it. They follow me from city to city. Yeah, I have my people, but they only want to kill me. There are very, very few shows that I can talk about. I'm working on about 8 or 9 big projects right now, and I'm not allowed to say anything about anything. And a lot of them are going to be premiering at Comic-Con in San Diego in July. So I have to shut up until then. And boy, I can't think of any that I can really talk about. There's one that nobody's really watching because it's not available here. It's for smaller kids, particularly. But it's a version of Stitch, based on Lilo and Stitch, that is an anime. And it's set in, I think, Okinawa, and there are Japanese characters and some Japanese mythology that's involved in it. So for kids just getting into anime for the first time, it's kind of a nice gateway because it has the Lilo and Stitch flavor, and it's really cute, that sort of thing. The other stuff I don't think I'm allowed to talk about yet. Yeah. But I do updates on my website all the time, and IMDb knows before I do, and then certainly at Comic-Con there's going to be... They do, I swear. No, I go to IMDb to figure out what I've been in. And half the time, I don't even know the names of the shows I'm working on, or the characters. Sometimes the characters change names by the time it goes into final production. So I'm the most clueless guy in the whole entertainment industry, which baffles me for being the guy sitting in the chair in front of you answering questions, because you guys probably know more about what I do than I do. Okay, who's next? How about right here?
How's it like working as Tom from Toonami and the end of it all?
Only Toonami. Man, it was really sad when Tom went away, and I didn't realize how profound that whole experience was working on Tom and how many people were actually tuning in. And I didn't realize that until about 2 years ago when I was at a convention, and some kid raised his hand in the audience and said, "Dude, you raised me." And I said, "What?" He said, "I came home every day after school and I heard your voice every single day, and I stayed up really late at night and watched Cowboy Bebop, and you raised me, dude." And the first thing out of my mouth was, "I'm sorry, I hope I didn't hurt you." But Tom was great. I mean, it was really fun, and it was sort of a surreal experience for me, because I did that in a dark studio in LA on the phone with guys in Atlanta who were recording everything I did there, and then they did all the animation there. And with all of the video game reviews and things, I had no idea what I was even talking about. These guys wrote the scripts, they're playing the video games on the phone while they're talking to me, and for updates and things. I didn't even understand what I was talking about most of the time, which is usually the case in this group, so thank God I have a script. But man, it was amazing. Tom was just amazing, and when it was over was when it really became profound for me. And I've actually been talking to some guys who opened up this website called Neo Toonami, and they're trying to bring back Toonami. These guys have actually got some designers who are fresh out of art school, and they came up with some amazing new designs for a new Tom, and for, I don't think it's the Absolution, I think they came up with a new ship. And they have a guy who's voicing Tom for the first go. But they've got a website that's going up, and it's going to go viral pretty quickly, and I'm trying to get the guys in Atlanta to get involved in it so they can bring back Toonami for the next generation, because it really was a great gateway for a lot of people to get into anime and to have something to look forward to every day on the midday block, you know. So, yeah, I miss Tom. I miss him really bad.
We all do.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell him. How about over here?
More of a statement than a question, but there's actually there's another site about Toonami, probably not doing it legally, but Toonami Aftermath is a guy that just has a Justin TV stream and plays Toonami every day from 2 p.m. to 2 a.m. The same schedule that they had on Toonami, ToonamiAftermath.com, and he has all the Tom stuff, and he has all the commercials that played. I don't know if he just like had a computer hooked up to Toonami and just recorded it for every year it was on, but I haven't seen repeats on there.
There are guys that did that.
And he has it recording, he has it playing all the time, so every day 2 p.m. you can watch it until 2 a.m. Except for Wednesday nights where he plays DBZ Abridged, which of course was not on Toonami. But everything else on there is, and it's kind of funny to see it, because especially with the Tom stuff.
Well, thank you for letting me know about that. I'll put him in touch with the Neo Toonami guys. Maybe they can pool their resource in it.
If he starts submitting some of his footage to them, they don't have it.
They've got a lot. Those guys are pretty Toonami centric, so yeah, I think they've got it handled. But yeah, it always helps to have extra information. Okay, how about another one? Right here.
What is your favorite anime series?
Oh, well, this is a terrible thing to say in a place like this, but I don't watch a lot of anime. So, including my own, I didn't see Cowboy Bebop until like a year and a half ago. So that tells me how far behind I am. I know, I feel like I'm going to be flogged or something sometimes when I say that, but I don't watch a lot of TV. I don't watch, especially the stuff that I'm in, I don't get a chance to watch it. And I'm so busy working and creating new shows that I don't have time to watch them when I come home. And especially with the dedication it takes to make it through 26 episodes of a show, I just don't have time to do that. And I've tried that with TV shows. I'll make it through the first 3 or 4 episodes, and then I just run out of time. I can't do it. So I sort of stopped. So, I don't know. Man, that's such a hard question, because I just don't know. The only thing I can really base it on is the shows I've worked on and my experiences of those shows. Other than shows like Full Metal Alchemist and some of these huge shows that, you know, were just obviously brilliant. I just am clueless. Again, I'll pull the clueless card. How about right here?
Roughly how long does it take
for a voice actor to get through an entire, say, 26-episode series? Does it take like weeks, months, days?
Well, it depends on if it's anime or if it's original animation. If it's anime, we can do 5 or 6 episodes in a 4-hour session. I worked on Naruto recently. I'm working on Naruto Shippuden. And I think I did 6 or 7 episodes in one session. And I mean, that's a lot. That's really a lot to crank out. And then by that time, they already have their music and effects and most of the other actors recorded. So they can put that together in post-production and have it out really within a couple of weeks. So that process is really fast if they have all of their elements for it. For original animation, it's much, much more lead time because we record the voices first and we record them in a cast. And so we most often don't have all of the cast members there at one time. We try to, but people are busy. They always bring in celebrities, and the celebrities are off shooting movies somewhere, so they always have to wait for them to come back in and do their parts. And then the animation time just takes forever to do. And sometimes it takes about a year, sometimes 2 years. I worked on one show for Nickelodeon about 1.5 years ago, and it's still not anywhere near finished. And a show I also can't even talk about. I mean, you'd think with that much lead time I could even still talk about the show, but it takes that long. And you know, you just have to remember that they have to animate that thing frame by frame, and there's so many decisions to be made with music and with backgrounds are separate from the animation that goes, that actually moves across the screen. And the writing changes. Sometimes we have to come back in a year later and do changes for our reads because it's just not working with the animation. So it differs by project. But anime is the fastest, and I think that's why they hired me in the beginning, because I was cheap. It's a very inexpensive thing to produce. Once you have the license for the anime, it's really not that expensive to produce the final product in America anyway. But the license fees can be ridiculous. So, very good question. How about another one? Over here.
What does the wave file actually say?
Oh, this is bang. This is the last thing that Spike said before he died. Just pointed his finger and said bang. And I took it from YouTube, so it has, well, that's a conspiracy theory. Spike will never die for me. I reenact every episode every night.